Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's Marquita from At Home with Quita. So glad that you're here today to catch another video. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 7 ways to get the most out of your planner. If you're new to the planner world, or even if you're not a newbie and you're just looking for ways to get the most out of it, you just feel like something is not going according to plan. You just want to make sure that you're using it to the fullest potential. I'm going to share with you guys 7 ways that you can do that. You can get the most out of your paper planner. But first, if you're new to my channel, I hope you'll stick around and consider subscribing. I also hope that you will give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. So let's jump on in. I'm gonna, of course, take you over to my overhead view so we can talk through some things. If you wanna see that, make sure to stay tuned. All right, y'all, let's get started with these 7 ways. I'm really excited about this video. Hopefully, I'm hoping that it may help some of you guys to really define what your planner is going to be used for and just really get the most out of it. That is the purpose of this video. So the first of the 7 ways that you can get the most out of your planner is to define what you want to plan. Seems pretty simple, right? You want to know, why are you planning? What is the purpose of this new planner that you just picked up? Of course, planners can be used in multiple ways, so it's important to really narrow down exactly what you want to organize in your own planner. The planner could be for weekly tasks, meetings, kids, sports, and other family or social events. Or maybe you want a fitness regimen, meal plans. You may also want a journal. There's so many different types of planners. So once you figure out what planner you want to make sure that you're defining what that planner is going to be used for. And so basically how I use my planner, because of course we want to show you this in motion. I don't want to just talk you through this video. I want to show you as well. And so how I use my planner is for everything. This particular planner is my catch-all planner, which means it's for my entire home, life, kids, family, everything. So that's why you see all of these sections here. I have sections for calendar, home, meal planning, family, fitness, faith, school, personal, self-care, list, financial, and business. And so you may not want to go to this extent of having all of your sections in one planner. Maybe you just want to have one planner, and that planner is dedicated for a specific use, which is a-okay. And so again, defining that purpose. And so if you want to split these things out and you want to have a separate fitness planner or a separate meal planner or a separate, school planner or whatever the case may be, you just want to have that defined. So my definition of this planner is a catch-all planner. So that means everything is all in one planner, and that just happens to work the best for me. But you want to make sure that whatever system you develop is going to work for you so that you'll want to use it. Of course, we want to get the benefits out of the planner, and the only way we'll get those benefits is by using it. So just identify exactly what it is that you need to include in your personal planner. So the second thing, after you define and you think about what is the purpose of why you want to plan, what type of planner you need, you want to find that planner. And so the planner that I use, of course, you guys know, is a Fancy Plans planner, which happens to be my very own stationery shop. And I use a Notique cover. I have several different Notique covers. This happens to be the croc cover, which is super gorgeous. So this is what I use for my catch-all planner. The inserts that I use are from my shop as well. Of course, I have them scattered throughout in different sections. I also use, in terms of a calendar, and this is what works for me, I use the dashboard layout, and the dashboard layout really helps me because it helps me to organize things. This is the way my brain works, and that's why, or that is the beauty of all the layouts that it currently exists, is that you can choose one that best works for you. And so how my brain works is that I want my schedule and my to-dos in terms of outings and things that I need to actually physically go out and do, or that I need to do for that particular day. I want it split out on a separate page. And so that's why this half of the dashboard layout works for me, because it allows me to track my appointments. It also allows me to track, phone calls I need to make, just things that I need to do, whether they be recurring or non-recurring. And then on this side, it allows me to have a master to-do list, also some things that I need to purchase that may not be grocery items, because I do split that out separately. It allows me to have some fun at the bottom and write in some things that we want to do for the family. goals, and then also things that I need to see immediately. What's my top priority for that week? So there are, again, several different layouts. I don't even have to go into all of them. We have about maybe 8 or 9 on our shop. And so you have to really look at the layout, maybe get some inspiration from different videos and different people on Instagram. There are several different inspirational people that can help you to show you how they're using their planner that may work for you. And that's where I started. I started looking at YouTube, looking at different videos to see where I can gain inspiration to see how I want to use my planner. Of course, you're not going to use it exactly the same as they're using it, but you get insight by watching others. And so I would definitely start there. And this is actually the fun part, guys. Going to that craft store, looking at all those pretty planners, looking at your style to see what aesthetically pleases your eye. I think that that is the most fun part. There are endless stylish designs to choose from to match your personality, but the cute factor is not all that you need to consider. So keep that in mind. Think about what size planner you need. Does it fit in a small purse or a briefcase? That may be important to you. Or do you want a larger size with more space to write? I happen to have a pretty good size handwriting, so the half letter size works just fine for me. If you have a smaller handwriting or you just want it to be able to fit in your bag, mini baby, the best route for you. If you have super large handwriting or you just want more space, classic and big size may be the way to go. So there's so many different sizes. So you just have to walk into that craft store and look at all the sizes, which I will say that the craft store is a little bit limited in the size options that they have, but there's so many comparison charts online. We do also have a size guide in our shop that shows you the different sizes. To me, I think half letter is the perfect size, but I have been known to use a classic in the past. And let me just give you a comparison of that size. So this is classic versus half letter. So as you can see, and you're not getting a true representation until I pull it out of the cover. But as you can see, the classic is of course wider, and it is also taller. So you want to consider what size you want. And I think classic is a great size as well, because it still gives you a lot of space to write and it's not too big. I sometimes may feel that letter size or big size is just too big, but there are a lot of people who use that size and love it. So walk into that craft store, look at the standard sizes there, and if there's a size there that you're just not feeling, go online, take it online. That's what I feel like is the best. Online has a lot of options. There's a lot of shops out there with unique designs and just different things that you can't find at the craft store. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is to find the format that you're most comfortable with, because you're going to have this thing for a year and you want to make sure that you're not bouncing all over the place between different planners. That can get expensive. You know, I have been known to do that in the past. I seem to have calmed down a little bit and I'm feeling pretty comfortable with where I am. And so just take note that you don't want to be spending all this money on different planners. You want to really put some thought into it. If this is something that you're going to implement as a way of life, because to me planning is a way of life. I don't view it only as a fun thing to do, because it is decorative as well. I view it as a way of life, as something that I need in order to achieve my goals and dreams and to keep my house in order. So you really want to consider the format as well, so that way you can make sure everything flows the way you need it to flow. So depending on your needs, you may opt for an hourly, a horizontal, vertical layout. So really just keep your needs in mind when you are selecting the best planner for you. It's for you, okay? So the third way to get the most out of your planner is to create a system that works. If you like to stay organized and you're investing in a planner, chances are you like to organize the way you organize too. Everyone's different, so you have to create an organization system that works for you. Whether you highlight, the really important stuff, whether you color code, whether you group tasks or events, whether you block schedule, there's so many different systems that can work. And so you guys know the system that I use the catch-all system. I just talked about the dashboard layout. I do some color coordinating every now and then, but my week is pretty much standard. Over here on the left-hand side, I write in my top priorities, my master to-do list, what I want to buy. I write my goals, some fun things to do for the family. I tuck inside of this pocket my meeting prep for the week, any things that need my glaring attention. And then on this side, I use my journal or task cards to have some things here that I just want to see right in front of me that are important to me. And that is vitamins, my affirmations, workout, eating healthy, and water. It's pretty much self-care related. And then I pop in sometimes trackers and things like that in my week. I also have my daily text insert so I can write my scripture of the day. And then I typically have my meal planning insert in here as well, which is a half sheet. And that is where I'm able to write my grocery lists and I'm able to figure out what we are having for dinner for the week. So I've already done that, as you guys saw in a recent video. So I have my grocery list already checked off because I've ordered all the groceries. I know what I'm having for dinner for the week, and I also write that here. And then again, we just break down all of our appointments and things that we need to do. So my week pretty much stays the same. Every now and then I may highlight some things that need my attention and I don't want to miss. I like to add bullet points as well so that I can see things broken down easier. And pretty much I just decorate with stickers, and that is really it. I do like to consider myself somewhat of a minimalist, although you may not agree with that. But I like to just kind of keep things simpler now. Sometimes you may not see as many stickers. You may just see more pen to paper, and that is okay. So develop the style that works best for you, whether it be just writing on paper. That is a system. Some people are just pen writers and they just use the pen to paper method. That is a-okay. There's also a whole community of decorative planners, which is what I am. There's minimalist planners. There's so many different titles to who you are in terms of your planning style. So find the planner style and the system that works best for you so that you can make sure that you are keeping up with this new planner you got, even if it's not new and you're just trying to get back into planning. Find the best method for you. Maybe you don't have that best method if you haven't been picking or reaching for your planner lately. Maybe there's something about your system that isn't working for you. So figure that out. Go through your planner page by page and really start to wean out things that you know you don't need, you know that is not sparking inspiration in you, and it's just not helping you to pick that planner up. That is a very important part of the whole planner process. Put together a system that is going to work for you. Now, it may take some time as well. This whole system that I put together didn't happen overnight. It happened over the years. I really started to develop my planner system, the way I like things to look, my aesthetic, my style. It has changed, and that's going to happen to you as well. And so look throughout the community. Again, inspiration. There's so much inspiration out there. There's a person just like you who loves to plan just like you that you can kind of mimic to a degree and kind of set things up the way that they have some things set up, and then you make tweaks to make it your own. So that planner system is going to be key to whether or not you get the most out of your planner. The fourth thing is to spend time with your planner every day. So my planner routine is to get up in the morning, I open my planner up and I see exactly what needs to be done for that day. So I look throughout my whole entire planner. I scan everything. I also have a business planner, so when I'm going down to business or work in the basement, I'm looking at the planner the same way. I'm opening it up. I'm seeing what all of my to-do list items. I'm writing things in that may need to be written in that I've just come up or I know I need to do. So I am looking at everything. I'm looking at my schedule. I'm looking at my spiritual things. I'm looking at the daily text. I'm writing that in. I'm looking at my tracker to see how I did over the week so far, unless it's Monday or Tuesday. I'm looking at that to see how am I doing? Do I need to amp it up? Do I need to, change something up? And then I'm looking to see what appointment do I have today? Did I do any of these items yet that I can go ahead and check off? Or am I pretty much starting fresh and I have to do every single thing that I see here? I'm also looking at the menu. I know that I'm making this particular item. Do I have everything prepped that I need to have? Is there anything I need to buy that I didn't buy? I'm looking at every single thing. And so we've all read various posts about the best way to start your day, whether it be meditation, Bible reading, just being mindful, exercise. Your planner should be part of that morning routine. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down with your planner, and go over the day ahead of you. Take that time to think about how you'll accomplish each task and jot down any notes or items you might be missing. And that's really going to help you to increase productivity and just stay on track with everything that needs to be done during that day. The fifth thing, and that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about, is to review it every night. So of course you want to review it during the daytime, but you also want to review it at night to just see where you're at. What did you accomplish today? I love just sitting here and checking things off. It really gives me peace of mind to know that I can come here and say, that's done, that's done, that's done. And then the next day when I look at my planner, I'm like, wow, I accomplished a lot the previous day. It just makes me feel really good. And so really your planner should be your best friend outside of physical people. It should be your best friend. It should be your right-hand man. And so really just sit down at night to take time take the inventory of the tasks you've completed for that day, any tasks that will have to run over to tomorrow, to-do list, evaluating if anything needs to be added to the calendar for this week, month, or year. So that's super important to just review it every night so you can kind of see where you ended up, and then you can start the day off fresh knowing where you ended up the previous day. What were your big wins? What were your losses? Does anything need to be changed, tweaked? This is also where you can get a sense of if your setup is correct. So all of that really contributes to being able to say, hey, I'm getting the most out of this planner. So make sure you are doing your review. So the sixth way to get the most out of your planner is to write everything down. That is why you are not digital. You are a paper planner. If you were digital, you wouldn't have to write everything down. You are a paper planner. You have totally committed to this thing. So you want to write everything down. So you guys know that I tend to write everything down. Sometimes maybe too much. And then sometimes things are redundant. So I will write them. I'll transfer them from week to week, which you do want to do that. If there's something that you weren't able to complete, transfer it to the next week. But I write every single thing down. So we're going to walk through this thing, and I'm going to share with you guys from the beginning of my planner to the end of my planner, some things that I track and write down in my planner. And I'm going to do a full video on this soon, kind of things that you can track in your planner. So maybe a comment below, let me know if that's something you want to see. Maybe we'll keep going with the 7 ways, 7 things thing. And I will do a 7 things to track in your planner, although there are many of things that you can track. So let me know if that's something you want to see. So from start to finish, this is my month, or my year at a glance rather. This is where I write appointments, anything that needs to be done during that year. And this gives me an at a glance view, so that way I can be ahead of the game. I can come here and dump everything out when I need to just plan it out and I want to see it like on a few pages. And so the year at a glance is really helpful for me to be able to do that. And this is really just appointments and things like that. Events are things that I would typically write here. And so that's the first thing for me. I do also have this how to plan card, by the way. If you guys haven't seen this, it is available in our shop. If you're looking for just a quick snapshot of how to plan your day out, I think this is really great. And it may help for some to be able to figure out what exactly or how exactly should I be structuring or planning my day. And so after I do my at a glance, I'll come here to my monthly calendar. I write every single thing down, from appointments, from goals, from reminders, from spiritual things, from things to do with the kids, from bills, from sometimes I'll write a scripture or a quote. I just dump every single thing out here. I feel like this is my brain dump page to a degree. And from here, I take that into my weekly. And on my weekly, I break it down even further. So I'll do, of course, my priorities, which are typically spiritual things, my master to-do list, my goals, which I'm pulling from here. And I'm also pulling from my personal section, which we talked about yesterday. I'm also writing in big purchases that we want to consider, things that are ideas that we want to do with the kids. And I pull that from various sections of my planner. Because you write everything down, it allows you to have something to pull from. You know, sometimes when you're new to this whole planner thing, you're like, what the heck do I write in this paper planner? I don't know. And so if you just start to brain dump things out, you have different places that you can pull things from to put them on your to-do list or on your calendar to do for that week. And then again, we talked about my daily text. I like to do a scripture a day. I'm writing that down. And then I'm writing down my menu plan. I'm writing down my to-do list items, which I'm pulling from the monthly. So I write every single thing down. I also pre-plan ahead. And then if I need to write some things in my next week, I'll go ahead and do that. This is also just, a lot of my sections are just dump out information. I'm just dumping it out to get it on paper. So I'll write in what I want to clean, ideal schedules, even if you don't adhere to them. What is ideally a day schedule that you want to implement to be able to keep the house clean? I write that down. So every single thing you think of, and maybe you may even want to have a brain dump section, just write it down. There's more of a chance that you're going to do it if you write it down. And ultimately, to get the most out of your planner, you need to have it nearby throughout the day in order to write everything down. And so that's why I keep mine in that tote bag. I keep the tote bag pretty much near my bed so I can easily grab from my planner when I go down to work. I have it with me. I pretty much carry it almost all over the house. If I'm upstairs on the main floor, it's on the main floor somewhere. If I'm upstairs on the top floor, it's on the top floor somewhere where I can easily access it. So that way when I think of things, I can just throw it into that planner. So keep your planner handy, and jotting down anything seemingly important is going to ensure you stay organized, greatly enhance productivity levels, and prevent you from forgetting any little details. So start thinking of your planner as your brain. That's a good way to think about it. Your brain on paper. Anything you can think is safe to write down. Yes, that's what we want to do, right? Okay, so moving forward, I have my home section, and that's where I just dump, again, everything out. Any projects that I want to do, any of that is going to go in this section. Then meal plans. I'm working on some sample meal plans. I do have a separate meal planner. And again, that's a system. So do you need a meal planner? Do you need a separate fitness planner? Or do you want that all in here? And even if you have it all in here, do you want to still split it out like I do? And that's kind of what I do. I take this system as my main system, and then I'll purge things out into those other systems or planners as needed. And so within my meal planner, I write down recipes. I write down items to keep on hand in the family or in the kitchen. I write down family favorite recipes. I have shopping lists that I write in here, recipe cards. So you see where I'm going with this? So make sure, again, brain on paper. This is your brain on paper. So everything that you're holding inside, get it out on paper so that way you can see it in front of you and you can start to implement those things. So then when we get into the family section, I want to, have goals for the family, of course. So I write in a sample schedule for myself. I may not always adhere to the schedule, but this is ideally how I would like my day to go. So write down those types of things too, like ideas. How do you want your life to be? Even though, it's going to take some time to implement these things, seeing it in front of you like this, it helps you to recall those things that maybe you may have forgotten about as well. I like to have a to-do list. This was like my to-do list during a pandemic, things that I wanted to do for, that time where we were, or still are, kind of shut in and trying to figure out things to do. I also have a daily block schedule of how I would love my day to go in a block schedule format. And so that is really helpful as well. Then I've got habit trackers, weekly routines for the kids, for myself. I keep all of that in here and I write it all down and in hopes that I will be able to implement it. And a lot of it I have because of this planner, because I have this system in place. And then for the fitness section, again, you may want to have a separate planner for this. I like to have my Nutrisystem kind of sample day. And then I have my fitness planner, which has everything that I am eating for that day. And whenever I work out, I'll come in here and write that down. And so this has been so helpful for me to just kind of write it all down. And again, it might just be a matter of a sticky note as well. Maybe you don't have time. You just want to pop in a sticky note on a page, which is what I did. I just wanted to kind of reflect on how my week went. So that is helpful as well. And then just random things, even though I'm not doing keto right now, you see that I have a keto paper in here just because I know I probably am going to come back to it someday. And then I have my faith again with the sticky notes, just popping things here and there so you can see it. If you're spending time with your planner, you're going through most of your sections every day because you're checking in with them to see how they're doing, to see if there's anything that you need to do, anything that needs your attention. So faith section, I just have really lots of fill paper that I use to pop into my week, which is mainly just the daily text because I do go digital with a lot of this. And so I just keep that in there so I can replenish those sections. And then we have a school section. I have Addison's school schedule in here so that I know what she's doing during the day. And then I have this form here, which she had a test that she was supposed to do. So I just stick that in here. We also have just other things that I want to do with the kids school-wise. I keep in this section. Then we've got a personal section for goals, which we talked about before. And then I have a list of things that you can track in your planner, just random things. I just dump it out in my planner. And it just helps me so much to just see it on paper. Same thing for self-care. Track my blood pressure so that I know where I'm at, make sure I'm in a good place. And then we've got lists. I will do a deeper in-depth flip through of every single page of this if you guys would like. I'm just kind of going through it so you can get the idea of what I'm talking about when I say to write everything down. So to-do list, and it doesn't have to be pretty handwriting also. It could just be like this. To me is just like random handwriting. It's not pretty on paper, but still, I'm checking things off still. It doesn't always have to be pretty. You just want to write it down. And then we've just got a morning routine there. I have a bill that I don't want to show my address for. And then we've got an order tracker there for just different things to order for the business and personally. And then we've got a business section with just things I want to create. Again, some of this is just randomness and some is very structured. So it really doesn't matter. I do have a dedicated business planner, so that's why this section isn't as populated as others. And then that's pretty much it. But you saw, I pretty much write everything down in my planner so that way I can see it on paper. It's more likely I'm going to use it if I see it on paper. That's how my brain works. And if you're doing digital, you just do it the same way. You make sure you're keeping up with everything digitally. So it's pretty much the same concept. So write it all down, get it out of your brain and onto paper so that you can start implementing these things in your life. Okay, the seventh thing and final thing is to make it pretty. For me, that is important. I'm very much a visual person. I want to make sure my planner looks pretty. There's more of a chance I'm going to use it if I open it up and I see pretty things. So I pretty much have everything is pretty much muted, minimal colors. I don't have too many vibrant colors. I'm not like a super vibrant colored person. Sometimes you may see that in my spreads, but I pretty much like the colors to be black, white, gray, standard colors that you guys have seen before. And so as you can see here on the left-hand side, I have just a little bit of inspiration. I feel like when you open it up and you see that inspiration, you're like, okay, let's do this. We got this. Let's go, Quita. That's what I'm telling myself. I'm pumping myself up. Once I see this, I'm like, well, yeah, I love this planner. You know, it makes me want to use it every day because I'm like, it's so pretty. Like, I feel like it's so pretty. It's for me, you know, it's my style. Everything is clean looking, just the way I like it. I love the cover here, the frosted cover to be able to see through the back. I love, love, love those bows at the top. So all of this is going to contribute for me for a reason to open my planner. If I know that I'm opening it and I'm not inspired by what I see, it's not going to be too much more open in that planner, okay? And as you can see, I've got dangles there at the bottom. And so when I look at it like this, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like just a beautiful thing to me. And it just really makes me want to open it up. And so pretty much very decorative and functional here on the left-hand side. This is Notique, Notique, Notique. With the exception of that, pretty much everything else is from our shop with the exception of this little dangle charm. These are our new dot stickers. There are several different colors in the set here. So there's like 9 colors and I use these quite a bit. I try to keep the one that I haven't used on the cover page. And so having some functional elements as well as decorative elements here that you can easily reach for when you're looking at your goals real quick. I love this little goals card. So I just keep that stuck there so I can remind myself to achieve these goals on a daily basis. And then just some beautiful things as well. I also have some sticky notes that I easily pull for when I want to use my jelly roll pen. I almost forgot the name of it. This is one of my favorite pens. It's white ink. Sometimes I want to do white ink on black sticky notes, so I'll reach for these. And so it's easily at my fingertips, but it's still beautiful. Functional yet beautiful. And then also our new cards here, which I need to switch out. This is one for January. We have them for the whole entire year. They are plastic cards. And then these dots fit on the cards. They're transparent dots, or you can get them in matte or glossy, but the transparent is going to allow you to see through to the back of the number. So you can see those important dates right in front of you. So I need to change that out for February. And then I have a little adhesive pocket here so I could easily slide this in and out. I've got a sticker kit here that I want to use for an upcoming spread. And again, just beautiful things. The way that I structured my planner is very intentional. From this to have that layered look with the gray and the pink, everything for me is intentional. This is the first thing that I see. I want it to be pretty when I open it up. I also want it to be pretty throughout. That's why I've made certain decisions when it comes to journaling cards. Like these are our new journaling cards. And I kept our older ones on the back, which are just black and white. We have 4 sets, I believe three or 4 sets. And this just gives me a bit of inspiration to start my day, just some motivation to start my day. Even from the stickers here that you see that I popped in, that is very intentional because it's pretty. I want to see this page on the outside, but it is functional. These are our new bags, our new pouches. They come unpunched, so you can get them punched for A5, hole punch. You can get them non-punched if you don't want, or you can get them punched for discs, which is what I have here. They are formatted to fit perfectly in half letter and A5. I will be adding other sizes to the shop soon, but this is just so cool to be able to just tuck some things in here. And then again, because it's so minimal and see-through, you can add other decorative elements. As you can see here, our new journaling card I added to the back of this so that I can be able to have some beautifulness on the back, but yet still be inspired by it. So again, you want to set it up for success. You know, you want to make sure that your planner, you know, looks good to where you want to open it and you want to look at it and you want to plan in it. And for me, that starts with the way it looks. You know, I'm just a visual person. And so here I just added, you know, some washi. All of this stuff is functional, by the way, but it's just still pretty as well. And I use it every single week. And so again, just very intentional with the things I've added. It's my aesthetic. It's what I like. I love marble. You guys know I love these colors. Even from this, the way I set it up, I wanted it to be pretty, even though it's functional. Those are task cards. And so I just try to be very intentional with where I place things throughout the planner. So when I get to a specific section, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really pretty. Let me write in this section. That's the key. You want to write in that section or write in that planner. And to me, having a beautiful planner really helps with that. And then even in the back, you see I've got my sticky notes. So functional yet beautiful is key for me. I like things to look beautiful, but I want them to have a purpose. And so that is pretty much it, guys. And so I really enjoyed this video today and sharing with you guys 7 ways to get the most out of your planner. And so let's do a quick recap so we can talk through these things again, just to reiterate what we've talked about. The first thing that you want to do is define what you want to plan. That is very important. Why do you have this new planner? Or if you have an existing planner, reflect back on why you bought it. What are you using this planner for? The second thing is to find the best planner for your needs. So whether that be disc bound, whether that be hole punch, whether that be bound, whether it's coiled. I know that's a lot, right? This is not, I guess, necessarily a beginner video. It's just giving you some tips here because I know it can be very overwhelming. But I'm going to try it in some future videos to break some things down. So whether it be those scenarios, whether it be, A5, whether it be half letter, whether it be the dashboard layout, the horizontal layout, there's so many options. Really be intentional, do your research to figure out which one is going to work best for you. Number 3 is to create a system that works for you. So whether you're going to be a color code planner, whether you're going to have a catch-all planner with different sections, whether you are going to just kind of write in with a pen, or you're going to decorate with stickers, figure out the system that's going to work for you. The next thing is to spend time with your planner every morning. So when you wake up, look at your planner, look to see what you need to do for that day, check things off, move things around as needed. And then number 5 is to review it every night. So before you go to bed, make sure you're looking at that planner, see your big wins, losses, anything that you need to change for the next day. But that is going to start with keeping it nearby, which is number 6, to write everything down. How can you write everything down if you don't have your planner nearby? So maybe get a tote bag, like I have a tote bag, which you'll see a video on soon. And that is where I keep all of my planners and my essentials, so that way I can make sure that I'm able to easily access my planner when I need it. And number 7 is to make it decorative, make it pretty, make it something that you want to look at. And to me, and for most people, we're visual people, and so you want to find a planner that is going to be aesthetically pleasing to your eye, so that way you will want to open it and you'll want to use it. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. So those are my 7 ways that you can get the most out of your planner. So keep going at it. I know sometimes some weeks it may be hit or miss. That is totally okay. I too experienced the same thing, but keep going at it. You'll get your mojo, you'll get the swing of things, and soon you'll be just using it every day. And so try to implement these tips that I've given you. Hopefully they have helped in some way. Comment below, let me know. Do you use a paper planner? How are you using your paper planner? Do you feel like you've got the swing of things, or you need help, you're struggling? I'm going to probably keep doing these 7 ways. I think I may start a 7 ways series on my channel. So comment below, let me know. What do you think? Would you be interested in something like that? Should I keep this 7 ways train moving right along? I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much for stopping by. I always appreciate when you're here. I hope that you'll come back and you'll catch another video, in which case I'll see you guys then.